see. Am I back on? I am back on. I got nobody watching. So stupid. It's. I have a USB issue, I think, and I'm trying not to run anything important through the hub. And the camera is the built-in camera, so there's no camera going through the. There's no camera going through the USB port, but I think it's a USB issue. And so it just all of a sudden it unmounts all my hard drives, which is not good. And Logic quits because Logic is using Duet, which I think is FireWire. So I'm not sure. Something's weird. I think it's about time to get a new iMac, but I hate to do it. This is what year is this? 27. It doesn't say what year it is. Weird. Oh, 2014. So it's about 6 years old. That's about when these things start to die. So hit the like button again, yeah, I guess. So this. That's the end of the whole phrase. I'll just push this down a little bit, like that. You don't need to see my face. Yeah, and I only had 40 peak at the last one, Bruce. When I quit, ended the stream, it showed me how many had watched. It was only 40. We got 65 on Monday, which I think was a record. 64 was the previous record. So I don't know what happened, but watches get a whole lot more now just because it's a better time to start. But I put part 2 on here so people know that there's a part 1 because I don't want them to watch this and go, wait a minute, why is he starting in the end of the song? I'm gonna play the song backwards this time. So, but yeah, so this whole fourth phrase is the same as the second phrase, but up an octave. There you go. See, that's just funny. You got the notification. Yeah, I had to reboot Hero. I think it's my USB ports, the powered down or something. So, which still doesn't explain why I lost the iMac camera because it's built-in camera. I'm not using an external camera, but I don't know. It happens quite a bit, and so it unmounts all the hard drives, which is frustrating because I know that's not good for the hard drives. I've yet to have a problem, but it may come to the point where I lose some music on my hard drives. Fortunately, almost everything I do on my hard drives, I'm sending to someone and then I'm done with them, and so I never ever have to reopen something. I mean, it is very rare that I have to reopen something on a hard drive. If I drag these here, is that going to disappear? It might. Yep, it did. That's funny. Okay, I'll have to go get it again. Hold on a second. Yep. So here's the last phrase. Come on. There we go. There's the last phrase. Yeah, so what was I looking for? Okay, the drop. I've got... Nope, nothing yet. Okay, I'm supposed to be getting some new music. All right, so let's try to work this out, see if we can get this down. But we're out of position. I intentionally kind of just went up an octave because I thought it sounded fun, and I wanted to touch on the fact that we don't have, just because we're playing bluegrass doesn't mean we have to stay up here by any stretch. We're going to talk about some of that kind of playing up the neck. To be honest, I could go a whole year on this, and we could take these scales and go to the next position and do them all in the next position, all that, and I could write songs there. And in fact, if I did, this would be probably part of the song. Okay, so what I'm doing here is, again, first finger on the 3rd fret of the 3rd string, 2nd finger, and then there, 3rd fret of the 2nd string, and I'm barring my finger. because that just makes it a little bit easier for that one phrase. I don't need to bar the next measure, just the G chord. Flat 3, 3, 5th, flat 3, 3, 5th to 5th, 6, 5. Yeah, I'm getting there. Okay, and then the next measure is we're going to be on the second string, second finger on the 4th fret, and go to the 3rd. Like that, 3rd finger. We're going to go bum, bum, ba, up there. Okay, get that G note on top with your 1st finger. Do that twice and then go. Okay, and that's over the C chord. That's flat 3, 3, 5, flat 3, 5, 5, and then 6, or I'm sorry, 5. Yeah, I'm talking about, I'm sorry, flat 3, 3, 5, flat 3, 3, 5, 6, 5. I'm talking about the analysis of the notes. So that's the C lick. Okay, and then Mark, you're asking about how to finger this last one. So this again, we're gonna have to lay down a finger, but it works. It's fun. So we have, this is the flat 3 over the G. Okay, so it gives us that bluesy sound. That's kind of why we're calling this the major blues. And I'm going right down flat 3 to the 2nd to the root, and I'm going to the 6th. Okay, and so that's going to be pinky on the 6th fret, 5th fret. Sorry, Holly, you got to use your pinky. First time here in a while, and then 1st finger on the 3rd string. Okay, so that's pretty obvious. We're going to go to the 3rd finger on the 5th fret of the 2nd string, which is the E note. So that's the 6th of the scale. And then we're going to go right there. We're going to do the same exact thing over the D. Right? All right. We're playing the flat 3 in D, which is the F natural. We're going to the E, which is the 2nd, and we're going to the root, which is the D. And then we're going to do, so it's kind of a roll. It's called a roll. So Mark, this is a good question. All right. What I'm doing is when I'm playing this note here, okay, this D note on the 2nd string. Instead of using the tip of my finger, instead of trying to, I'm really, when you're playing, you usually try to get the tips of your fingers on so they stay out of the way of the other strings or whatever. You try to be kind of tippy, right? But here on this one, I'm going to use a little bit more of the meat of my finger. I'm going to play it here. That D note, instead of playing it up here on my finger, I'm going to play it here. Why? So that I can roll my finger and get the tip of my finger on the B flat note on the same fret. So when you're going down like that, that's a common tool that you can use to allow you to play adjacent fret, the same fret on 2 adjacent strings, okay? And then you go to open G. And that's the flat 3 of the G. So that note, that B flat, is not in the D major blues. It's not. There's a B in the D major blues and there's an A in the D major blues, but there's not a B flat. So what I'm doing is I'm anticipating that the next chord is G. We're setting up the G by going, that stink, we got to make a stinky face. Because it's a smelly note. It's the flat 3rd. Okay. So hopefully that answered. So again, that last phrase, starting the B flat up here on the 6th fret. All right, and that will take some doing. That'll take some time to get that feel down. And if you can, give that B flat a little goose it a little bit, right? Juice it a little bit. Give it a slight bend. I wouldn't go all the way to B. I wouldn't go all the way. Just give it a little bit of a bend. Pull it towards the floor a little bit. You got the tip on there, so you've heard that kind of lick a lot. Oops. Right? That's basically what you're doing, but it's in kind of an awkward position. Not normally how we would play it. Okay, so oh, the great conjunction energy surge. It may have been an energy surge. It could be. The lights didn't flicker at all. I've had the power go out here. It's so funny. It never happened in Pasadena. happens all the time since we moved to LA City. We're technically in LA City and paying LA power bills and all that stuff. So yeah, it's a twang. Exactly, Holly. But I'm not completely convinced that it's a LA City issue. It could be my house. It could be the computers are getting older. To be honest, I think it was doing that thing where it was unmounting the hard drives. You're basically unmounting everything. I think it did that before in Pasadena. So, asocial distancing. Let's see. All right. Yeah, I do back up. I have a hero. I do have backups. Again, the important stuff is, the movie stuff I work on, the games and everything. Once I finish that work and send it on to them, it's up in it's up in disk. It's up in. I've got 2 terabytes of the files that I created are up in up in Dropbox. So I've got 2 terabytes of Dropbox, so online as well as on my hard drives. And I have yet to have a hard drive crash from this problem. I've had hard drive crashing, but and the solid state hard drive is crashing too. It has nothing to do with that. I think it's the USB on the iMac. I think it's the outputs are something they're just rebooting without being asked to reboot. So I'm just gonna have to get a new iMac at some point. I'm gonna start pricing them. I suppose that's something I need to write off for this year. I suppose I could do that. I'd rather buy a new one before mine totally crashes, because then that's a real pain, trying to migrate everything over, and then not being able to work. Normally, what I try to do is I try to buy it before it goes completely dead. I usually think I get about 10 years out of an iMac before I have to replace it, but yeah, no, Becker, you missed the fact that the whole thing shut down and we had to start over again. Well, not start over again, but you weren't notified the first time. Interesting. Yeah. That's why I only had 40. I've already got 26 on this one. The other one I only got up to 40. It's kind of weird. Let's see. No, not a 16-year-old computer. It's 2014. I said 2004. I meant 14. It's only 6 years old. So no, I have another iMac that's probably 16 years old in the other room, but it's still doing great. But it wasn't powerful enough for the new logic, so I had to upgrade. Of course, I mean it's built-in obsolescence. It's ridiculous. My wife still uses my laptop that's probably 20 years old, so that still works. So yeah, I don't even want to know how much a new iMac costs. I mean, because I always get the biggest screen I can get, and the other thing I could do is I could go with something like an iMac Mini and then buy a separate screen, and I could totally do it, because then I could actually have a bigger screen, which wouldn't be a bad thing. I may go that route. As long as I have a lot of ports. Let me pull up Safari and see. And the nice thing about the iMac Mini is I'm spending more money on the processor than I am on the actual. Here we go. But I don't really need. See, they've got a new iMac Mini too, so more guts, more glory. From 690, yeah. So, I mean, like if I were to click on, let's see, iMac Pro and then Mac Mini. iMac Pros start at where's the pricing? Oh, buy. Here we go. Nice. Little buy button at the top. iMac Pro is $5,000, and that's not going to happen. So I must not. iMac Pro must be a new thing. I must have had just a regular iMac. But even that, let's see. What's the large size they have? It's a 27-inch. That's what I already have. Yeah, it's much better pricing. Let's see. I need more storage, so I have to pay to upgrade the storage. So let's see. Usually go with the highest. So I'd probably go ahead and just that one. That's 229, but I mean 2300. Let me see how much they charge for upgrade to. I just need a terabyte. I don't really need anything else. No, I don't need a nano texture glass. I don't need a 10 core. Now the RAM I would probably upgrade to 16. Man, it's getting expensive, and I don't think you can customize these yourself, which stinks. Graphic, okay. So an extra $200 for a terabyte, and an extra $200 to get to 16 RAMs. I think I've only got. What am I running now? Am I running 8? Yeah, I'm only running 8 gigs of memory. And keep in mind, I'm really generally running one software on this computer, and that's Logic. I mean, this whole thing, like OBS and all this, doesn't take any RAM at all comparatively. So, so now we're looking at $2,700 plus tax. You're looking at $3,000, which is not great. But the Mac Mini, let's see, what do they have here? What do I have for options there? Because then I could get a big, because they charge a lot for their screens. So 8 core, 8 CPU, and 1 chip. Yeah, they're not using the Intel chip anymore, so they're using their own chips. And I would want to upgrade to, I don't know what that means, unified memory. So we're looking at $1,300 to go with a terabyte and 16 gigs. I don't. Logic I wouldn't need because I already have it, so that might not be a bad way to go. And then I can go shopping for a good screen, and I could probably get a bigger screen. Yeah, you're right. No, you're right. Oh, a second screen would be nice. I could just reorganize my desktop. I could have 2 screens. I'm not sure what the outputs are on this. Let's see. What kind of out? See, they just show you pretty pictures. Let's see. Yeah, they have 1 HDMI out, but I'm sure I can split that off. It looks like they got an Ethernet, and they've got 2 USB-Cs and 2 USB 3s, and then a headphone out, which is interesting. So, I would definitely be going through, and I wish Apple actually made do they make their own, sorry, you guys are like, hey, shopping, accessories. Do they make their own hubs? Because I'd rather use their hub, because I feel like the hubs, hubs are just so cheap. I'm like, there's got to, you can get a pretty big hub for 20, 30, $40, and I'm like, multi-port USB-C, multi-port AV, multi-port. Okay, so that might come in handy for having a second screen, but that doesn't really. That's more for a laptop and hooking a laptop to a screen. I don't know. Anyway, the iMac Mini might be a way to go. I'll talk to Alex. He'll help me with that. Oh, the iMac Pro would be for 4K. You need a beast of a PC for editing 4K. Yeah, I know. If I go to 4K cameras for my YouTube channel, it is going to be a lot more processing power to do the editing. Question. Thank you, Bruce, Bruce. Thank you so much for everything. You're a good encourager, and you're also always helping out on the channel here, and you're building me a cigar box guitar. Let's see. Hey, Brian W., I'm way too dog poor. Yeah, they're expensive. Macs are stupid expensive. Let's see. But one of the reasons why they've been, they've always been expensive. One of the reasons, though, is I've never had a virus. I've never had any kind of anything like that. They're constantly updating and protecting for that kind of stuff. They're very, good about that. Dang. Yeah, see, Becker, I don't know. I've got a friend who's a Mac Pro expert, and maybe he can help me. I might be able to order it instead of ordering from Apple. I might be able to order it from there's a place, Mac Connection or something like that, and they may be able to go. Oh yeah, we can add RAM ourselves in there, and it might void the warranty or something. I'm not sure how that works, but they may be able to add RAM. I usually buy my Macs actually from a little place in Pasadena called Dino Computers. So I may talk to them as well. But I'll look at because if I buy a mini, I'm gonna still have to buy a screen. But I know that I'm not gonna. And the Mac iMac Pro was what, 2,700, so it's gonna be $3,000 with not the iMac Pro. Sorry, just the iMac that I would want with the 16 gigs of RAM and the terabyte hard drive, and it's an SSD drive. So this one's a spinning drive in here. This one's older; it's a spinning drive, but the SSD drives are a little more expensive, but now they're starting to get cheaper. So that would be 2,700, 3,000 out the door. iMac Mini was 1,300, configured very similarly, but I don't have a screen. But that's still a good deal. I know I'm not going to spend $1,700 on a freaking screen. You can get a decent screen for a couple $100, I think. So. Oh, Brian, Brian, you just said you didn't have money for a computer. You're sending me money. Thank you. New Mac Fund. There you go. Yeah. Well, here's the sad part. What if I buy all that and it still keeps doing what it's doing, and then it's like, dang it, now what's wrong? I have some kind of power problem with my outlet or something, which is, now you got to get the electrician over, and now you're talking another couple $1,000s. So I don't know. God bless you, Brian, though. Merry Christmas to you too. 2 terabyte. Wow. Oh, Dennis is telling me. Oh, Dennis, Mac viruses ain't interesting enough for virus coders. Yeah, exactly. No, let's see. Question from Sam regarding no coda end on the first note of the last measure. Yeah, it just repeats back to the first bar, which was goes right back to here. I'm not sure. I didn't use codas. It's basically just repeats. I mean, I didn't even need to write that pickup in here. I didn't need to write that last here, this. Dang it. I didn't need to even write that, but that's just to pick you up if you wanted to loop the song around. So if I wanted to play the song multiple times, I could do that. Yeah, back for a desktop PC, and that's a PC. Yeah, Macs are just always expensive. But the thing is, I've made so much money on Apple stock, I shouldn't really fret about it. I could just sell some Apple stock and then buy myself a new Mac. But I hate to get rid of that stock because it's doing so well. Or some of that stock, anyway. I wouldn't get rid of all of it. Actually, the stock that's really done well was Microsoft, which is one that did nothing the whole time that Apple was going up. But in the last 5 years, Microsoft has just exploded. I think it's because the Xbox. Isn't that crazy? It's like, really? It's gaming that's making that. They're a gaming company. Yeah. So when you finish the set. Oh, so, yeah, so that's the whole thing. That's the whole tune. So it's not bad. It's not a bad tune. Like I said, I don't know how bluegrassy it is. I think at a faster tempo. Let me try to play it at 125. That's probably what I was playing right now. Let me see. New history.
I didn't trust teachers. I didn't trust.
Don't trust teachers. Ads. Yeah, where's my food? Yeah. All right, gotta start over again. So this is 100. This is just the way it is. Oh, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna get rid of this because so you can see my hands better. Okay, I'm gonna try to get in. There we go. Remove. Hopefully I answered your question. Yeah, end with a G chord. Yeah, you don't need to play that pickup into the next, but especially if you're going to solo. Let me move this, make this small, so I don't need this big, so I can see what we're doing here. Okay. So this is 100. 1, 2, 3. I like that lick. Okay, so let me go to 125 and see what's on. So all I'm going to do is go to the little settings thing and go to 125. So here's 125. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4. Ah, so, sorry. Try to turn it up. So I'll turn it up here. Okay, let's go to 150. Ah, I screwed up. Up an octave. All right, let's go to 170. It's starting to sound more like bluegrassy though the faster it goes, right? All right, let's try 200. Let's see if I can do that. I don't think I'm going to be able. Well, we'll see. Okay, it's just hard to get started on this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. Okay, that's a little fast. If I worked it up, I know I can have it. It's not that hard. But that was 200, so that's twice the normal speed. It's hilarious though that you can do. I love that you can do that on YouTube. It's so brilliant. And I'm not just kissing up because YouTube pays me money. I don't know if I would do that. What did Bruce do? Bruce, Holly, following up on your what's that when Tom played the strum stick? Oh yeah, it's a Seagull strum stick dulcimer. Here, I can see if I can find a link for it. You can check it out. It was. Oh yeah, the loop stations are great. I have the. Which one do I have? I have. I can't. I forget the one I have. It's cool. I bought it so I can do reverse. I can do slow speed, fast speed, things like that. It does kind of effecty, weird things. I bought it to create some loops for a movie. Let's see. What am I looking for? Okay, here we go. Let's go to Amazon. Yeah, I called it a strum stick. Yeah, here it is. It's Seagull Merlin. You're right. So it's not that expensive. The McNally one is more. So it says only 14 left in stock, so order now. But if you order through this link and do all your Christmas, it's a little late for Christmas shopping, but if you order through this link, I get a little piece of it. I saw some of you did some Christmas shopping through the links below, and I appreciate that. I got a few bucks for that. So, I make, 15, like I said, about 15, 20 bucks every month from Amazon purchases that people do. A lot of it's mine too, because I'll go through my links when I go shopping for Amazon. We're all bosses here. That's right. You're not familiar, Becker? You're not familiar with looping? Yeah, I'm not very good at looping. I don't know. My foot doesn't tap in time very good. Some people are really, really good at it. Who got their whole start that way was Ed Sheeran. He's freaking really good at that. Let's see. Shambhavi, I am in Los Angeles. Hey, Dennis, I see your Discord link. What the heck? Your Discord link showed up. Oh, you put that there because you saw my Amazon link showed up. Well, let me put this jam track link. Where did that go? Oh, I closed it already. Hold on. So the jam track I was just playing to, that you can adjust the speed, is right here. So let me give you this link.
You may think you...
What the heck? Mandalorian. So Disney's going to do like 10 different series for Star Wars. They are going crazy. Let's see. Yeah, and so so that Seagull guitar, I mean, it's, the nice thing, it's made in Canada, so it's fairly good construction. It wasn't as great as I thought. It was pretty cheesy, but for me, adding an instrument for $139 is, now yesterday I went to look at an oud, but it was only marginally better than mine, so I didn't really feel like spending $450 on an oud that was only marginally better than mine. And I'm thinking about going ahead and putting an order in for a hurdy-gurdy. It's going to take a year and a half to get, so I'm putting down a parts deposit on it this week, probably, or next week, and that way, because I need some write-offs for this year for, tax purposes. And I really do think a hurdy-gurdy is something that the composers I work for will definitely utilize. So, but it's not going to be that much money. So, I mean, when it's done, it'll cost money. But the deposit wasn't that much. It was like a third of the price. So I was tempted to I was going to put down the whole amount. But when the wife of the builder said that it was going to take a year and a half, although they might give me a little bit of a priority, they said it would take a year and a half. I was like, well, you know what? If I give you a deposit, if I pay the whole thing in advance just for the write-off this year, and I don't get it for a year and a half, I may forget that I even ordered it. So, Okay, Brian, you take off. Thank you so much for take out the trash. Thank you so much for the monetary love. John was here for just a minute, but he sent me a Starbucks card. So the a generous donation from the John W. Foundation is sponsoring our coffee for this week. Let's see. If you join the Discord, try to use the same. Try to use your same icon or avatar if you can, and if you can use the same name, that would be great. You can specifically. Apparently, Dennis was telling me you can have different names. If you're in another Discord community known as someone else, you can have different names for each community. Is that right, Dennis? Sam, what was the question? So the tuning on the Dulcimer is diatonic. Yeah, it's weird too because it's now I just bought a chromatic Dulcimer. All right, you saw that. I may have unboxed it for you guys. I got that, and then I got the Bode Psaltery, or maybe it was the other way around. I can't remember. I almost bought something else from that guy, but I couldn't. It was the harp thing, but I don't know. There's maybe something I'll order from. I wouldn't mind getting like the bass Dulcimer, but I don't know. It's but the Dulcimer tuning is not too unlike the cigar box tuning. But the cigar box tuning will have chromatic frets, 12 frets per octave, whereas the Dulcimer kind of has it's diatonic. It's weird. Okay, let me get it for you again. Hold on a second. So you can see the frets are big, long frets. So what it is if you go up here, I think that's basically a D. Yeah, kind of a D. And it's two strings there on the top. Like it's supposed to make it louder. I don't think it really works that way, but so we have D, E, F sharp, G, A, B, C sharp, D. But then the middle string is an A. So you have an A major scale. So you get kind of you end up with this Lydian thing if you play up here on the A string. So it's funny. But it sounds very toy-like. I have yet to find a use for it, and part of the reason is because I can only play it in D or D flat or C. I could lower it down. I wouldn't go too sharp on it. Wouldn't trust it. I mean, it's real wood, solid wood. It looks like it's got it's like a cedar top, I think. See how the color is different than the fretboard, but the rest of it, I think, is maple. Bruce, you're probably better at looking at that. Is that maple? It doesn't. I don't know. But the top is cedar, and I think it's a solid cedar top. What does it say in here? Oh, it says spruce. So it must be a solid spruce top, and then maybe that's maple back inside. Necks are commonly made out of maple. Where's Bruce? Yeah, I went to that guy, the mountain, this guy here, and so I had 2 Dulcimers on top of this. So how I ended up with 3 Dulcimers, 4 banjos, and 6 ukuleles, I have no idea. It was like, dang it. And I need to. Mountain Made Music is the name of the guy where I got both my Dulcimer and my chromatic Dulcimer. The other Dulcimer I have that's tuned like this, that's got the frets, the diatonic Dulcimer. That was actually made for. It's so funny because somebody said, "I want to make you a Dulcimer." I'm like, "Oh, cool, go for it." And because he'd come to one of my clinics, and so. Bruce, you get a kick out of this. So I said, really? Oh, yeah, no, man, I really want to make you a Dulcimer. And what's your address? I'll send it to you in California. He sent it to me with a bill. And he includes like picks, strings, and a book that I would never have ordered. And it's all in the bill. Like, it's like, when you say you want to send me something, like, okay, that's hilarious. Maple body. Maple body. It looks like cedar to me, but it says spruce on it. So M4 spruce. Oh, Godin owns Siegel. I didn't know that. I knew they were both Canadian companies, but and Godin makes an electric oud that every year at the NAMM show I play, but they're just too expensive to justify an electric oud. But I love the fretless kind of thing. So if I ever see like a Godin, like someone getting rid of their Godin oud, cheap because they just like, oh, I don't want this thing anymore. I might jump on it, but hard to find anything cheap anymore because you get outbid on eBay. But if I enter Godin oud, yep, there's what? This one's $385, but it's multiple bids, 7 days left, so definitely don't think that one's going to go for $385. Here's one, buy it now for $1034, which isn't bad. Free shipping, B stock, brand new. Oh, interesting. Well, that's kind of interesting because that's probably from them. And me, I don't care about B stock unless it's like what it depends on what is wrong with it. Seller 100% positive. I mean, $1,000. See, trying to find a good oud, that's the hard thing. See, the nice thing about the Godin electric oud is that it has geared tuners. I hate friction tuners. And yesterday when I went to check this guy's oud out, I drove up to Ventura County to see. It was about an hour drive each way, But it was like Beth went with me. It was like, we got to get out of the house. Let's go to Ventura and check out this oud. And it was basically like mine. It was a little bit better than mine. I paid $300 for mine, and it works totally fine. I'm not getting any complaints from any of the composers because none of them are like Middle Eastern specialists. But I couldn't, we were sitting outside because of COVID thing and everything. And we're sitting outside and I'm trying to tune this thing. It's so hard to tune an oud just sitting there by yourself, but with someone else. And I didn't have a tuner. I just had my phone and the phone wasn't hearing it. And then I turned the string and then the string came out of the thing. It's like, I was all set to pull the trigger and just give them the money and go, cool, got a new instrument. But it's not a new instrument. See, I already have an oud. And so if I'm going to, I did a lot of oud. I mean, I probably made $2,000 this year playing oud, and I paid $300 for that oud, so it's paid for itself. But a good oud is kind of like a good mandolin. You're looking at, like, a good oud is going to cost you around $5,000 for a good one. But I don't know that a good oud is going to be any easier to tune because it's still going to be a friction tuner. And I did buy new tuners for my oud, so I haven't put them on yet. But I bought new tuners, and what I want to do is I want to restring it at some point and then put the new tuners in, because these tuners I feel like are going to be a little stickier. That's the problem, was when you're turning them, like the lute is even worse because the knob, the end of the tuner is so small it hurts my hand because you really got to push it in and turn it. So I end up using the guitar tuner, the winder thing to tune it. But let's see. Merry Christmas, Jeff. This sounds like, maybe a little bit like Arabian music. But it is kind of fun. I mean, so here's you got basically a D chord. If you put a third here, you got a third now. See, this is D, A, D. Here you got D, A, F sharp. Here's a D sus. D sus, D, D2, right? And then if you want a D major 7, you can't do D dominant 7. See, that's not possible. And then there's D over F sharp, and then there's like a G chord, and there's like an A chord with a D on top. B minor. Not particularly easier to play than guitar, though. For one thing, it's like, how do you hold this thing? It just keeps wanting to fall down. So anyway, I've yet to use it on anything. I've had it for years and I've never used it on anything. So, but I hung it up because I wanted to have stuff on I have all my little instruments hung up in the hallway in the bathroom just so that I know what I have so that I can go, oh yeah, I could use that on this. Because otherwise, if it's packed in the closet, buried under stuff, I'm never going to see it. Hooks taken off. Let's see. Oh, interesting. Coolidge's poem, Kubla Khan. That's funny. Wit said, I never thought about that. Yes, well, the hurdy-gurdy, I mean, if I order it, it's going to take me a year or a year and a half to get it, which stinks. You put Grovers on your Alvarez. Yeah, but you didn't have friction tuners before. So friction tuners are like violin tuners. And it's a 1-to-1 gear ratio. I mean, even these crappy tuners, I don't know what they're, probably 8-to-1 gear ratio. These are actually pretty decent looking tuners, actually. Part of the reason why it's probably so expensive. But yeah, a typical guitar, I think, is 8-to-1, 10-to-1, or 12-to-1 gear ratio. Hey, John, thank you for the coffee. Tommy Tedesco used to tune everything like a guitar, so his banjo was tuned like a guitar, his mandolin was tuned like a guitar. I actually have a Mando guitar, so if I got to read like insane, well, banjo, mandolin, it's all double strings, so but I just start picking them up. Something about my brain works pretty well to try to fix these things up. Let's see. And yes, it's like languages. So many people that learn a lot of language, learn a language, it's easier to learn a third and a fourth and a fifth, right? Kind of the same thing with the guitar, mandolin. So the instruments that I play, when I play dobro, that's in a weird, open D or open G usually. But I even have like the cluster guitar that's all C notes, just all the same C note. I got 6 C's on it. The baritone, actually, ironically, the baritone is the one that throws me off the most because it feels like a guitar, but you're down a fourth. So I have to constantly concentrate. Mandolin, it's like as soon as I pick it up, I know I'm on a different instrument. I wouldn't want to tune a mandolin like a guitar. I just feel like it wouldn't work. Like I've been saying, the Starbucks this week was brought to you by a generous donation from the John Y. Foundation. So thank you, John. Let's see, Shambabi, is it okay to tune the guitar strings daily? Yes, you should tune it. I may tune my guitar strings by every 5 minutes if I'm in the studio recording. Sometimes I do what's called tempered tuning. So basically what I do then, tempered tuning is, you got the tuner on your guitar. Hopefully, oh, my battery's dead. Ugh, battery died. All right, I must have left it on. But I got lots of batteries. Ooh, I've been wanting to taste these. They say, bitter coating, child secured. I'm like, how bitter are they? I mean, it's going to be really bitter. It may taste like coffee. I may go, woo, that's good. But when you temper tune, basically is, let's say, no guitar's perfect, right? I don't care how well it's set up. You get up here, it's still not going to be perfect. It's not going to be perfect in tune if it's in tune here. So if I've got a passage of music that, that's in a certain position, then what I'll do is I'll actually literally tune it, I'll go, okay, that's a little flat. I'll tune it for that position. So that's kind of what so yeah, definitely you can tune every day. That's no problem. Daily tuning is good. You can tune it, go to DAD tuning, you go to open D tuning, you go to G tuning, you go back to regular standing tuning. You should be, on a good guitar, you should be able to do that all day long. It's not going to affect the guitar very much. I mean, I think Martins used to say string only with medium strings or something like that because they didn't have truss rods. So I probably should string this up with mediums at some point just to kind of get the neck a little bit more. It's a little flat right now. So I may order a set of mediums and put them on there, and it'll be fine. I'll probably love it, actually, sonically. It'll sound better, I think. But right now, the top E string's a little buzzy. Yeah, I basically will tune. It depends if I'm playing at the seventh. If all the notes in this phrase, because keep in mind when I'm working, I'm like, let's see if I can find some. I just did some sessions. Let's see. So I've got a 3 songs. It's hilarious, you guys. I've written 3 songs, and next week we're gonna get a new one. But we got 3 songs so far, right? Uncle Jan's Real, Pent Up, and Inigo Montoya from Rancho Cucamonga. And I think next week maybe I may do. And oh, by the way, we're not going Friday. I may go online with Alex on Friday, on Christmas. But I'll try to go Saturday morning. I may not go at 9 o'clock. We'll see. I'll go when I get up. So we'll continue this on Saturday morning. These scales. We'll review them. Let's see. Yeah, so you can see this is some music I did for a game or something, or a movie. I don't know what that is. Huh, weird. Oh, dang. None of this is, so that was just one sheet. Where there's a bunch of stuff on the floor. Yeah, and you can see, like, here, this was mandolin. I even wrote on it Mando. So I'm playing that on the mandolin. So I might, but if I were playing that on guitar, I might tune that specific area. See, this is just some basic chords. That was more of a like strumming thing. This was lute and not easy to play. Well, it was fairly easy to play, but just pain in the butt to tune the thing. And so, what was it? It was kind of like, musically speaking, it was something like, basically. Basically what I was playing on lute. But yeah, but if that was on guitar, I might tune that position, not tune open strings. I would tune 5th fret or whatever, just so that I'm closer to being perfectly in tune. It's called tempered tuning, where you're just tuning the area you're going to be playing in. Gosh, I got a lot of junk laying out here. You know that? I am just such a slob. I don't need all these slides out. This is the one I'm kind of using lately, so I'll keep this one handy because I like that. I didn't do it this year. I forgot. I should have done it. But I need to do a video on gift ideas for guitar players. So I may do that anyway. I may do it after the first year and say early Christmas gift ideas. 2021. I should do it every year, really, to be honest. And then I would just have Amazon links below, and then you could go shopping. It's kind of a freaking brilliant idea. I'm sure other guitar players, there are a lot of people doing it. But I definitely could, talk about capos. Or I think like one thing that's really fun to own is an ebo. That thing I have fun with. And then slides, picks, strings, even string mutes. I don't know. You just say, I just got this because I was doing some Eddie Van Halen type stuff, and I was doing some hammering, and I needed to mute the strings. So usually I would do it by tying a sock around that. It's like, but I actually got something that actually is designed for that purpose, which I don't really need to have out, so I can put it away. It goes with the capos. So this is also something. This is stuff called it's called nut sauce. Okay, this actually, I'm like, I forgot I had this, and I'm going to keep it in here. Actually, I'll probably keep it down here in the tools. What nut sauce does, I think it's like liquid. What are pencils made out of? Not carbon. Bruce, help me here. What's in a pencil? What's the pencil lead? What is pencil lead made out of? I know it. I just can't think of it. You're all yelling at me right now. Like, it's this, you moron. Try to remember that. Thanks, Bruce. You click on any link in any of my videos, those links below, where guitar strings or whatever. Just click on one of those links. You don't have to buy that string. It just takes you Graphite, thank you. So it's like liquid graphite. And what you do is, because I was having problems with, I was doing a session and I was doing a lot of effecty kind of whammy bar, not like whammy drops or anything like that, but I was using swells. I got too much crap out. I put stuff away. I was doing swells. All right. So I'm doing these, kind of like hitting these chords and then going like this, right? But it was going squeak, 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 because the strings were snagging right here in the nut, and they were making creaky noises that were going into the pickups and going into the thing. And it's like, yeah, they don't want that, because then they were echoing, because I was using lots of echoes. I'm trying to fade in things. I'm like, ugh. And I'm like, oh yeah, the nut sauce. I forgot it was in my gig bag, so I went and found it. I hadn't used it in years. And what it is it's just like liquid graphite, and you pull the string out and you just put a little bit right in the groove where the string sits, and I'll be darned if it goes away. And it stays like that for a long time. So it's called nut sauce. So kryptonite. Thanks, Gary. Gary, totally useless information there. Let me see if I can find that on Amazon. Let me see if they have that. I'm going to go ahead and do a video, gift ideas, Christmas gift ideas. I'll release it on Christmas Day. How about that? And I think it was kind of expensive. It was just a little tube of it, but maybe somebody's come out with cheaper ones. Big Ben's guitar cleaning and care product. Nuts. Oh, there it is. Nut sauce. Tune it lubricant. This looks like I don't know what that is, but this is the actual friction remover. So maybe deodorant lubricant. Yeah, and this is the same kind of thing. So this is the actual thing that I got, that I have, but not cheap. It's just it's like a little syringe. But then this one's cheaper, maybe, but I don't know. Oh wait, here you can see it. It's the same exact kind of product, I think. Let me see. You can do a little research. I'm glad the links are showing up again, though. It's kind of cool. Oh, silicone lube. Okay, that could be. Yeah, makes sense. Floyd Rose and locking it. Well, if you got a locking nut, you're probably not getting that squeaking problem. But if you are, that may be occurring somewhere else. So it's silicone. What does it say? Silicone. Yeah, I thought it was graphite, but maybe because it's black. Now this stuff is white. Big Ben's. It says $1,000 per 100 milliliters. They're actually, I don't know how many they sell of this, but it's like, I bet their profit margin on these things is insane. Groove Luber 1.5 cc, no control, contains no petroleum byproducts, reduces friction. No questions. Warning, Prop 65, yeah, probably causes cancer. Original version, returnable. Let's see. Yeah, I don't really see what it reduces friction. Probably says on there, groove. It just says groove lubricator. But let's see. Oh yeah, right, Floyd. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, a locking. You're right. A locking would not have free. But and I don't. Alex has my Ibanez. I gave it to him that had the Floyd Rose on it. Other than that, I don't think I have any guitars with a Floyd Rose. I'm not a fan, but at one point I had, like I said, I had a guitar or two with him. I may get one at some point. I'm thinking about getting a guitar specifically for metal stuff that's got more the better pickups for that, and that's more research. It's like too much to do. Because this year I got a lot of heavy metal calls. In fact, I'm getting ready to do a game that's when I pulled up the demo we did, it was all metal stuff. So, and this guitar works fine for that. It's a game. It's not like a record. So a game is going to be, you're going to be playing while you're hearing the music, and there's going to be other noises like explosions or whatever, characters or whatever. So it's less of critical to be sonically perfect or pure. And I feel like I get pretty good sound. It's more in the amp than it is the guitar, in my opinion. But pencil graphite, yeah, you see, you can use. That's what made me think it was graphite. I thought it was liquid graphite for one thing because on that stuff it seemed like it was black, not clear. But maybe it was clear. I can't remember now. No, maybe it was clear. So maybe it is silicon. But I remember using pencil lead and going in the nut grooves to get rid of the squeaks. So yeah, or even just a regular Strat because I got it from my main Strat because of the whammy bar the strings would squeak, and this this is not a good sound when you don't want it. I mean, sometimes it's cool, but most of the time it's like, yeah, you don't want that sound. So yep. Oh, so you've had it before, Wits End. You've had something similar to that. I don't have a nut file. Maybe that's what I should get and do the baking soda and sugar super glue. Oh no, I don't know what baking soda and super glue would do. Yeah, and you can have. Oh, you have a whammy. Wait, Becker. Oh yeah. So Becker, you have whammies on your main Strat. Did you post pictures up on of your instruments up on Discord? You guys see a lot of my instruments every day, just on the video on the live stream. Let's see, followers with guitars. AJ, oh, that's a nice telly. AJ's not here. Is he? AJ here? He was here earlier, I think. Holly, there's Holly's guitars. Look at that, Taylor. That's a worship leader guitar right there. So let's see what else. Oh, you've got a Strat. Let's see. What brand Strat is that, Holly? Are you still here, Holly? Let's see. Yamaha. That's a Fender acoustic, right? I've never understood why Fender has not ever seemed to get the acoustic thing down. It's just they've never. I remember they came out with a Buddy Miller Fender acoustic. And I love Buddy Miller, but it's like, no, buddy, you got to play an old Gibson. That's your sound. I'm out of coffee. Let's see. You're on Instagram. Oh shoot, do you follow me on Instagram? I need to check out your Instagram. Is it Becker Guitar? If I enter your handle, will I find your Instagram? Oh, I had the Instagram open. Look at that. I hardly ever am on Instagram. Becker Guitar. Oh, there you are. Yep, that's the same picture. Oh, cool. Oh yeah, is this your Strat? Yep, that Strat looks exactly like my Strat. That's the same as, what year is your Strat? I mean, that is literally, except mine has a maple fingerboard. What year is this Strat? Sorry. Oh, 2015 white blonde. Yeah, see-through lacquer. That's okay. So mine's a 2000. Mine's 20 years old, but sorry, I won't play your music on that. That's cool. Oh, and you got a kid. Uh-oh, you cut your finger. You got blisters. It's awesome. Yeah, just keep posting those videos. Just keep going. I'll subscribe to your video channel. Let me pull that up and I'll subscribe. New YouTube. Can't have too many subscribers. So if you guys aren't subscribed to Becker's YouTube, Becker Guitar. Let me see if that comes up. There you are. Oh, you got 422. That's awesome. Keep going. You get to 1,000. So I just saw 1,000 you can monetize. The monetize will turn on. And you have to have 4,000 hours in a year, I think, of 2.5 kids. Yeah, I have 3 kids, yeah. But anyway, okay, I'm going to sign off. But I'll see now. So Friday, I'll probably sign on with Alex. We'll do a little bit of jam or something. We'll figure something out. And then Saturday we'll review these scales, and then Monday we'll get. I think we're gonna do open G, not open G scale, open G scale, but not open G tuning. Open G Mixolydian. Okay, I think we'll do that, and then I'll write a song for that, and that'll be easy because it'll be one scale instead of three. And then we'll do the minor blues, and then we'll do the minor blues we'll do the minor pentatonics, then we'll do the minor blues. I think that'll round that out. And then probably what we'll do is we'll start to work on some licks up and down the neck, kind of non-scalier the stuff. Like, if you're over the G chord, you do that kind of stuff. We can maybe learn some of those. That's almost more country than bluegrass, but I see bluegrass players do it. It's very, very incestuous, those two genres. So even the new song I wrote, the Inigo Montoya from Rancho Cucamonga, even that, like I said, it skews a little bit more honky tonk rockabilly country than it does bluegrass, but it's all kind of messed up together. So we'll probably spend some time on that. No, you don't need 4,000 subscribers. You need 4,000 hours of viewing. And trust me, if you do live streams, that could add up pretty quick. Because when I click on the end of this, it'll tell me that I had if I have, go for 2 hours and I have 40 people watching, that's 400 hours. I mean, that's 800 hours right there. So you could get really quick, you could get to 4,000 hours. The hard one is getting to 1,000 subscribers. That's the tough one. Maybe do TikTok. I'm not on TikTok, but maybe do TikTok. And with that, you could get some new viewers. If you did some interesting stuff on TikTok, you might get people to migrate over to your YouTube channel. People have recommended that to me recently. I think even Bruce was mentioning that. And I'm tempted, but this is not necessarily, there's Holly. There's a big picture. Yeah, you need a new chair, Holly. You saw this one, right? I got this at Target, I think. Isn't this a Target chair? No. Wait, Plumbers? Shoot, I think this is Target. I can't remember. This is Alex's. He gave it to me. I had one and it started to squeak too much, and so he gave me his because he got a new one. Let's see. I don't see Holly here, though. I think Holly stepped out. Was she ever? Oh, there she was. Okay. So, what was I saying? What was I going to say? Let's see if I can click on your YouTube channel. Where is it? Did I already close it? I must have. Okay, so let me check your YouTube channel, see if it says how many hours you have. YouTube. Becker Guitar. So if you click on the, you go to that, subscribe, click on the About, it'll say, so you have 231,000 views total. You can also, you've got the discussion thing, you can post things there. You could do I'm kind of amazed at how much interaction I have on that Facebook page. I wasn't planning on doing it. What's your biggest viewed video? And that will often tell you what you need to be concentrating on. When you love someone, let's see. Oh, those uploads. Okay. ZZ Top, Give Me All Your Love and Soul, Slow, Normal. That was 9 years ago. So some of these are really old. Okay, so you got into it now more recently, 9 months ago. So your most Davey 504 Pro Battle, I don't even know what that is. Okay, strumming part for acoustic that you just have to play. Yeah, I mean, I love your you've got great, I love your pictures and stuff like that. People, the graphics, that kind of thing. Some people really do a good job of that. You're getting more graphics, things like that. I don't know, me, if you look at mine are pretty boring. If I go to my channel, let's see, my channel. I just like to have it big so you can see what it says, and I'm kind of in the background behind it, so I try to keep it kind of simple. My biggest videos are Let's see if I sort by most popular. Obviously, 7 Tips is number 1. Then 5 songs with only 2 chords. That has 546,000 views. And then Play Most Any Song in Dadgad. People get mad at me for using the word most instead of almost. Why do you have to be colloquial? I don't know, because I'm colloquial. Because I'm a colloquialist. Let's see. So you've got about 8,000 views per month. Okay. You need to get about 20,000 hours per month. Yeah, I get like if I pull up my analytics, it's crazy. At my level, and I'm not even like I think about people like Rick Beato has 2 million subscribers. When I pull up my analytics, though, in the last 48 hours, I've had 10,000 views. Watch time, about 11,000 hours in the last 28 days. So it's actually growing right now. It's starting to go up again. It went up and down and up and down. So, yes, half of all my views are literally from one video, 7 Tips for Older Beginners. And that should tell you, yeah, well, I mean, if you don't want those old ones up there, you can pull those. But if they're still getting views, then I guess you keep them up there. They will drive people to your site or to your channel. And I need to do a video about YouTube. This should be for my Pro Guitar Secrets. Becker, have you watched my series on the business of making music? Have you watched those videos? I haven't done many in a while. I haven't done one in a while. I've got literally titles for 70 of them, and I think I've done 20. The business of making music. Here it is. You know, I really tell anybody that wants to be a professional musician to watch these because, oops, that's not what I want. I want to share it. So if you know anyone that's interested in being a professional musician, I haven't watched these. It's not very long, and it'll take less time than what we just spent today. But you will find that it's basically stuff that I wish I knew when I was 20. So. I know a lot. I've heard a lot of Indian music, but I don't know any Indian songs. No, sorry, Shambhavi. I know it's big, but I just it's not. I have a Shwarmandal tempura combo, but I'm not really that's not like my big forte at all. So sorry about that. Let's see. Yeah, you don't want to be a karaoke. Well, then take it down. You guard your brand. That's one of the things I do in my playlist. Is I talk about guarding your brand and how I didn't do that. Yeah. So look, you've already got a couple new subscribers right here. So yeah. So but that's not unusual to have half of all your videos, especially early on, generated half of all your views to be generated from one thing. So I'm going to sign off because I got to get some work done. Let's see, but I will see you on Friday to jam a little bit and talk, and then Saturday for the continuation of this series. Okay? Greek music. Sam Stamos, not really. I need to get a Greek bouzouki. I almost bought one at NAMM Show. I wish I had. And I'll probably have to hang it up somewhere. I'm going to have to get more hooks and hang things. I've got the Irish bouzouki up, but I bought that not because I thought it was a Greek bouzouki, but I bought it because I wanted to have a bass mandolin. I still need to try to tune it up so the top 2 strings are E's. It's just they feel so tight, I'm afraid. And the scale is so long on it. It's a really, really long scale. So I was going to replace the strings with thinner strings, and it was like, oh, the strings won't reach. It's like you got to really buy really long strings for that thing. So. Okay, so I haven't been working all this time. Anyway, I'll see you all on Friday, maybe, and for sure on Saturday if I can. Okay, so how's that for surety? Okay, I'll talk to you guys later. Thank you so much. End stream. Boom.